Hello there, and welcome back to the Endless Kingdom. I'm your Namas host, and today on a not-so-critical review, we're going to be looking into a recently completed series based around a video game, The Last of Us. For those of you who don't know, The Last of Us is an HBO Max original series, and is the latest in a long line of attempts to make a TV/movie out of a video game. And I must say, I haven't seen many, but they're usually not that good. But The Last of Us is definitely not one of the bad ones. Far from it. All throughout my time watching this 9-episode series, I was quite enthralled with what I saw. Doubly so considering I actually played the game itself. Multiple times. But that's not relevant. What is relevant is the story of The Last of Us and how well it translated from the gaming scene to the small screen. The story is rather simple in concept. The world of The Last of Us, zombie apocalypse by fungal infection. And main elements of the story take place during the 20th year of this zombie apocalypse. It's where the infected roam every area of the world, but not contained within a quarantine zone, where most of the humans reside. The story picks up in this world following on the adventures of Joel, hardened survivor turned smuggler. Joel is a real cynical man who cares for nothing but a day-to-day survival. How to get his next meal, how to keep track of people who he's familiar with, both allies and enemies, that sort of thing. Doesn't care for much else. Makes him rather hard to approach. As for the other main character, Ellie, teenage girl who grew up in a semi-sheltered environment, or as close as sheltered as you can get in an isolated city under martial law. The story follows their adventures across the apocalyptic United States. It's after Joel agrees to smuggle Ellie across the country for a group called the Fireflies, a vigilante group that wants to free America from martial law. Not successful, but they are important to the plot line and serve as the overall end goal of the series. The rest of the story is Joel and Ellie trying to reach them, but going through many hardships that's along the way. From the infected to human raiders, topped off with a few well-organized groups that go to the extremes for survival. Going to the extremes for survival. Well, that is one of the core themes displayed throughout The Last of Us. You never know what some people will do when pushed to the brink. For some, they adapt rather well as long as they have someone to look after and keep them grounded. And for others, there's no limit. Ish. Things those two go through, all of which lead to some major changes as the series progresses. Joel went from someone who could care for nothing but himself, and those very few he holds dear, to someone who's willing to open up given the right circumstances. And Ellie, well, that girl started out as naive about the world, and things just kept getting harder and harder for her as they went. Not gonna say how or why, but yeesh. Oh, crazy stuff. Most of it done with the humans they encounter. There is plenty of tension to be found elsewhere. Both with Joel and Ellie's dynamics, which change near constantly, with a very stressful situation as they go through. Normally with these stories, there's at least one of the characters is near invincible to make it through. Not this case. Joel is capable, but he's not unstoppable. Something which the show hints at is a rather sore point for him. Never directly stated, but that there are hints that it's there. Affects Ellie too, but saying how would be a spoiler, so leave it at that. And again, hard to spoil this series considering it's based off a decade-old game at this point. Which means there are two kinds of people who will watch this show. Those who've played and or know of the game, and those who's just discovering the story for the first time. And thankfully, this show has something for both. I was quite amazed at how well they did that. The show follows the game's story beats quite well from one point to the next, but always with a few twists and turns. Some things are done exactly the same, others are done in a slightly different way, but still maintains the general feel of it. They are simply interesting changes that made sense. A great plus point for those who have actually played through The Last of Us. But as for those who are watching The Last of Us, whether or not you've never seen or heard of the game before won't matter at all. Well, there's plenty of entertainment and enjoyment to be found. You don't need to know anything about the game and to enjoy this series whatsoever. If you do know something about it, your enjoyment will most likely be enhanced. If not, well, that's you. Boom. What does it matter? In the end, and the game is more or a spiritual inspiration for the series. Actually, a bit more than that, considering one of the creators of the game is also one of the lead writers of the show. Go figure! But I'm detracting. I'm not here to talk about the game. I'm here to talk about how this series is an inspiring tale of two people who at first couldn't stand each other or bond through the shared struggle of survival, albeit trying to find their way to their destination, sneaking past people who would kill them on sight, avoiding scores of the infected, and so much more. If you enjoy a zombie apocalypse tale, The Last of Us will deliver in spades. And if you don't, you might find something else you'll enjoy, since the zombie apocalypse is more a backdrop for the character or dynamic. Either way, The Last of Us is entertaining, thrilling, and emotional from start to finish. And if you watch it, you will not be disappointed. But, as I always say, I'm not here to tell you if the show is good or bad. I'm here to state my opinion and through it let you decide if The Last of Us is something you'd like to watch. So if you think The Last of Us strikes your fancy, you can find it for easy streaming on HBO Max. The first season at the time of this recording has recently finished airing, and the second season is in development. Not sure when it's gonna release, but it's something to look forward to. And if you enjoyed this not-so-critical review, you can like the video, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and click the notification bell to stay up to date on all future reviews on this channel. As well as share this video around with anyone you think would enjoy it. So until the next not-so-critical review, I've been your anonymous host of the Endless Kingdom, and I wish you all a good day.